Chapter 44 TV Live TV broadcast. Good morning, Australia. Good morning. It's exactly 7 a.m. and I'm Mick Hammond, standing at the smouldering remains of the Survivor's Ark. Linda Levitt is back at the studio in Sydney. We have just one headline this morning. Australia is waking up to one of the most sensational stories in its history. The colourful religious guru Joel Regan is dead, believed murdered by his own wife Susie. His world-famous ark has been devastated by an explosion, killing many of his most devoted followers. The picture cut to a studio set and a newsreader in a peach-coloured blouse. Thank you, Michael. Here's a rundown of the last 12 dramatic hours. The story began sometime after 7 last night, when Joel Regan was found dead by his eldest daughter Eleanor. At the same time, 4 Australian Army helicopters containing Tactical Assault Group commandos set off from an airbase in Queensland. Their aim was to launch a surprise raid on the Ark, seize documents, and arrest senior cult members in connection with atrocities committed by the terrorist group Help Earth. It still isn't clear if Susie Regan was tipped off about the impending raid, but the coincidence of Joel Regan's murder and the helicopter assault sowed the seeds of an extraordinary tragedy. At 8 p.m, 4 Army helicopters reached the Survivor's Ark, only to find that Susie Regan had fled and Eleanor Regan had ordered her followers to arm themselves and booby-trap sections of the Ark with explosives. As the helicopters tried to land, they came under intense fire. One was hit by a rocket-propelled grenade, resulting in the deaths of 2 commandos who had been preparing to leap from the aircraft. 6 others suffered burns, and 1 remains in critical condition. Moments later, a second helicopter was destroyed, killing its entire complement of 18 men and 3 women. The TAG units were forced to withdraw. As military and police reinforcements arrived by air and road, many believed that Australia faced the prospect of a lengthy standoff between the survivors and the authorities. Accounts vary as to what happened next. What is certain is that at midnight, a huge explosion erupted inside the Ark. Some claim this was sabotage by allies of Susie Regan or a deliberate suicide bid. But most now agree that the blast was caused when explosive charges were triggered accidentally. The screen showed grainy video footage of 3 survivor children staggering through rubble in the darkness. At least 50 died instantly in the explosion. More than half were children making their way from the Ark's boarding school towards Regan's bunker. As parts of the perimeter and a 150-metre-high spire collapsed, survivors began emerging from the underground tunnels, many suffering from burns and smoke inhalation. Soldiers entering the damaged perimeter to assist victims of the blast then came under small arms fire, resulting in the death of another TAG commando and injuries to 2 more. The screen cut to an aerial film of a sunrise over the smouldering Ark. As days broke, it became clear that the Army had taken control of the area. Specialist units had disabled the remaining explosives. The death toll had reached 93, including 37 children and 24 military personnel. More than 50 others have been flown to hospital, and at least a dozen of these are reported to be in life-threatening condition. Among the bodies recovered inside the Ark are 2 of Joel Regan's children, his oldest daughter Eleanor and his youngest son, 11-year-old Rathbone. I'm sorry, I'm hearing something in my earpiece. I believe Mick has more breaking news from the Ark, so let's head straight back over to him. The image cut back to Mick Hammond, standing in the outback with the 2 remaining spies of the Ark and a few tufts of smoke in the background. Yes, Linda. Information is flooding in all the time. I've just been having a conversation with a senior intelligence official about Susie Regan. As you know, her jet was intercepted by 2 F-16 fighters and it was then forced to land at Perth International Airport in the early hours of this morning. I've been told that when Susie Regan was arrested, she was accompanied by none other than Brian Bungle Evans. Brian Evans was the mastermind behind Help Earth's attempted anthrax attack in the United Kingdom a couple of years back. The official also said that if the military hadn't already been on raised alert status because of the terrorist threat, there is every possibility that Susie Regan and Brian Evans would have been able to escape Australian airspace. Back to you in the studio, Linda. The newsreader looked stunned as the director cut back to her chair. Well, she said, smiling uneasily, we're doing our best to keep on top of things here. Right now it's over to our Brisbane studio, where we have Professor Miriam Longford. Professor Longford is an expert on religious cults and the effects that they have on the minds of their followers. Good morning, Professor. What do you make of the events of the last 12 hours? Could anyone possibly have foreseen a tragedy such as this?